Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips a balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys. Now I'm making this video for the Scientologists, which you guys know that's what I focus most of my channel on. And I hope this can help. I'm going to do some more in-depth stuff soon, but I'm going to start here. So is there any way to get a driver's license without a birth certificate or social security card? Let's see, I got to click on this. Okay, from Paula Teague, former case manager at Child Support Program. Contact the DMV and ask them what documents they will accept besides the birth certificate as proof of who you are. By the way, you can do this from your house if you've got internet. In my daughter-in-law's case, they had me sign an affirmation that she was who she said she was and that she lived with me. I then had to show utility bills and a lease in my name. On the plus side, her name was on the lease as well. Okay, Debbie Franklin responds, I have had this very issue, but you can go online and order a replacement Social Security card with information only. You would know on mysocialsecurity.com. You could do that at the library as well. Formerly employed. Jane Smythe. Contact the Department of Records in the state where you were born. Request a certified copy of your birth certificate. You can do this online. It costs about $5 or so. If you know your Social Security number, you can go online to the Social Security website and request a replacement for a list card. Also, too, I'm going to go back and find it. But if you guys go through some of Nathan Rich's videos, Nathan Rich, when he escaped Scientology as a young man, he went through a lot. And he had to get a driver's license, and anyways, he tells his story. He really went through a lot. And he finally was able to get a social worker to vouch for him because since he had been disconnected, he didn't have anyone to vouch for that it was really him. So there are people out here that might be able to help you. So don't lose hope, like if you don't have your documents. If you do have a marriage document, that may help you as well. Richland Hayes lives in California. I just went through this. What you're going to need is 2 people willing to sign a form at a notary, swearing under penalty of law as to your identity. You can use that to get your birth certificate. So I'm just going to throw some things out there. You might be able to get a relative that's not a Scientologist to vouch for you. Or if you are leaving Scientology and some of your family members are leaving with you, you guys could go to the Social Security office yourselves, and do this. And a notary is really easy to get. There are different places where you can get notaries done. It's not hard. You use that to get your birth certificate after, 2 people signed stating that you are who you are. You use the notarized ID form and birth certificate. Now, you guys, I don't know. I'm going to read you guys another one in what to do if you don't have your birth certificate. So don't panic. If you were born in the United States, if you know your real name, it's fairly easy to get your birth certificate. I don't know if you weren't born here. I'm not sure what to do. You use the notarized ID form and birth certificate to get a new Social Security card. Same number, new card. Then you need rental documents with your full name. Oh, like if you were renting a place. I don't think that's the only way though, so don't despair. With your full name or something similar. Basically, the Social Security office needs to see something official. So don't panic. There's a way to do it, okay? So just take a deep breath. With your full name or something similar, like utility bills with your name, etc. Or even, for example, if you agree to rent a room somewhere, if your name is on a lease, there's ways to do this. You guys are Scientologists. You're the smartest out there. You can figure this out. You got this. Then you can get your California Real ID. It used to be much easier, but the new process is just a giant bundle of bureaucratic fun and hoops to jump through. Probably there was fraud. I wish anyone else going through this all the luck in the world, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Okay, D. Landry. When I was in high school, before you got a Social Security at birth, we were given applications to apply for Social Security cards the first day of driver's ed. We couldn't get our learner's permit without one. There are a number of documents accepted in lieu of a Social Security card. For example, a paycheck. Oh yeah, paycheck stub, you guys. Scientologists, if you do have a paycheck stub, if you're working for another Scientologist or whomever you're working for, that's proof. Or a form W-2 or 1099 with the number on it. So they'll need the number on the form. In several states, you only need to know the number and the state can verify it. A state ID in the U.S. requires proof of identity, and they will probably take the birth certificate. Legal presence, so you have to be living there. Birth certificate. Age, birth certificate. Residence, typically 2 documents like a bank statement, and also too, we're getting more into the Social Security. I was trying to help you guys to get the driver's license or identification card. But anyways, let's just go with what he's talking about here. Oh, he's talking about a state ID. A residence, typically 2 documents like a bank statement, utility bill, property deed or rental agreement. Anything with your name on it. Social Security number, if you have ever been assigned one, as already discussed. And if you haven't been assigned a Social Security number, there's a way to do that. I shared that on that other video with you guys regarding residency, R1 visas, etc. Before applying for the ID, visit the state DMV website. Again, you can go to the library for your state and view their list of acceptable documents. You don't want to go to the DMV and wait in line for hours, only to find out you don't have everything. That's true. Since Social Security card replacements are free, that's good, you guys, it's free. Work on that next. One rarely needs the physical card anymore, but it might come in handy. That's true. You might need it, though. There's certain things you do need your Social Security card for. It's good to have it. Lynn Andrew, it is quite difficult in most states to get a state ID without a birth certificate. Though some Korans, they're talking about the people on this, may have different experiences. However, it is easy to get a certified copy of your birth certificate for a fee from the state you were born in. You should be able to find the requirements online. Okay. Judy Cunningham says, where were you born? If you have a birth certificate and were born in this country, you received a Social Security number at a young age. If you have a school ID from a school in this country, so young people, if you are listening, with your parent or guardian present, if you have a school ID, that will help you. From a school in this country, you must have a Social Security number. Get your story straight or go to the DMV in person for help. You cannot get a driver's permit, license, or ID without a Social Security number. Okay, here's a person from Texas. Dan, I'm assuming you're in Texas since one of the topics for this question is Texas Department of Public Safety. Here's a list of documents that Texas will accept. Your birth certificate is listed under secondary identity documents. Chances are you don't have anything else listed under secondary identity documents, so you'll need to present 2 of the documents listed under supporting identity documents. Some documents you're likely to have or be able to get include Form W-2 or 1099 if you've had a job. You should have been issued this by your employer. They should be able to provide you with another copy if you've lost it. School records. If you've been to a public school, your report card will work, as will a photo ID issued by the school. Voter registration card. If you're not registered to vote yet, follow this link, and you will be. You guys listen to that one. Once you have that card, that's a supporting identity document. Immunization records, your doctor's office might be able to help you if you've lost this. You'll also need proof of your address. Here's a list of what they'll accept. I'm going to click on that. To verify Texas residency, an individual must present 2 printed documents from the list below. Both documents must contain the individual's name and residential address. One of the documents must verify that the individual has lived in Texas for at least 30 days. That's not too long. Individuals who are surrendering a valid unexpired driver's license or ID from another state or applying for a commercial driver's license must still present proof of residency. However, the 30-day requirement is waived. Individuals who are unable to provide 2 acceptable documents may be eligible to complete a Texas residency affidavit. Okay, I'm going to go back to that, but let's see what documents they need. There's a brochure too, you can click on that. Any of the following documents will be accepted to verify an individual's Texas residency. And by the way, most states are pretty similar. Both documents may be from the same source if the source is a local governmental entity or service provider that provides multiple residential services. Example, a water and gas bill from the same municipal utility on separate statements. I believe a phone bill probably would be acceptable as well. You could have maybe a month-to-month cell bill. I don't know. I might be wrong, but it might be possible. Printed documents are required, and printed electronic statements are acceptable. Remember, all documents presented must contain the individual's name and Texas residential address. So in other words, let's say you have an aunt in Texas that's not a Scientologist. You can go and live with your aunt in Texas, and then you can establish all of this, you see? So it's doable. So a voter registration card, an unexpired motor vehicle registration or title, a boat title, handgun license, utility bill, selective service, that's for the men, current homeowners or renters insurance policy, Texas high school, college, or university report, card, financial institutions. I'm not going to read every single thing. Printed statements from some of these agencies, automobile payment, anything from the U.S. military or the VA, Veterans Administration. Okay, let's go back. I want to go back up to the other. I don't know where to go. You'll also need proof of your address. Here's a list of what they'll accept. Is that what I just clicked on? Yeah. If you're not in Texas, there's probably a similar list of acceptable documents. Look at the website of the agency that issues state ID cards, usually the same agency that issues driver's licenses, for their requirements. Okay, Lindahl Carter says, I'm having that issue with my daughter. You have to get your Social Security card. You can try for a replacement online, but if not, you will have to wait till the SS offices open back up, as they don't consider getting a card an emergency. You can get your replacement with your birth certificate and medical records, I've been told. Medical records. Okay, in Florida, listen up, Scientologists in Florida. In Florida, no, you need marriage certificate, divorce certificate, marriage certificate, birth certificate, something in your name and address like electric bill, Social Security card. William from Purdue University. The Social Security Act does not require anyone apply for a Social Security number. Unless you voluntarily apply for a Social Security number, the SSA will not issue you a Social Security number. In fact, if you state you have a religious objection to the SSA, they will not even consider issuing a Social Security number. I think you need it, though, to be honest, my opinion. You can request the SSA issue you a signed notice stating you have never been issued a Social Security number and that they cannot issue you a Social Security number at this time. Okay, this makes sense. This should be enough to obtain an ID from the DMV. He said BMV, but I think he means DMV. The Real ID Act states clearly that it is not to interfere with driving or voting privileges or rights. So that's a go-around. I have found, it is a BMW. I don't know what the BMW is. I found that the BMW in my state would issue a state ID driver's license without a Social Security number, with a signed notice from the SSA. The problem the BMW ran into was the software written required a 9-digit number to be entered, even though the requirements for the ID driver's license was met. Okay, this is getting really confusing to me. The Federal Religious Freedom Restoration Act protects you from federal intrusions, and many states have passed their own version of the federal REFRA. You may try this method as well. You might contact the state attorney general for assistance. Their response may be going through an administrative hearing process. Okay, this was posted during COVID. If your state requires a state ID to vote. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'll leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.